All right. When I was in my son was in Mile High Karate, $167 a month for 3 instructors karate. And they used to say, "I only fight to protect my life and the life of others." And that sounds good. However, now I'm going to add something to it. I only fight to protect my life and the life of others and for my human rights. Liberty, security of person. Now I would like to talk to the police officer. Why did you arrest me? Or you didn't arrest me. Why did you put handcuffs on me? You Baker acted me for destroying a door. That's like I grab a pencil and I break a pencil. It's my door, my pencil. What's the problem? I'm not intimidating or hurting the family. I broke that door instead of grabbing a belt and hitting the 2 kids for slamming the door. And I didn't want them to bust their fingers. That's why I broke the door. But the only way to avoid being Baker acted is by living alone, not living with a woman. That is your best chance. Besides recording everything. Because, I mean, we have the other guy on Facebook that shot his daughter's laptop with his gun. That doesn't mean that he's going to go and shoot his daughter. No. I was as calm as him when I broke the door. After the first kick, I said, oh, I thought it was cardboard. After the second kick and nothing happens, I said, well, the first kick, nothing happened. The second kick, oh boy, let me kick a little higher. And the third kick, finally, I didn't kick any harder, but it finally made the hole. And I said, all right, I did it. I congratulated myself. I finally was able to kick the door. And I would have removed the hinges and put the door down, but the spouse, she loves moving my things, and she moved my tools, and I just didn't want to get up and go look for them. So I went and I said, this time I'll break the door. I don't see anything wrong with breaking the door. It wasn't the front door, it was a bedroom door, and I wanted her to get rid of them like 2 years ago. Ever since my daughter started slamming the doors, I said, if she's going to slam the doors and hurt my son, because, you know, he's following her, then I'm going to remove the doors. But this spouse wouldn't let me. She wouldn't even let me remove, when the bed had the head posts, but it had those bars that you could put a baby could put his arm and break his arm, and some babies stick their neck through there. I told the spouse, that kind of bed is for a woman that likes to be tied up during sex. Get rid of it. Keep the mattress, but get rid of the headboard and footboard. And she said no. So it wasn't until one time my son was jumping from one bed to the other that he hurt himself. That's when she finally decided to remove it. And I was the one that removed it. And we gave it to the 70-year-old neighbor. And I told her, why does my son have to get hurt in order for you to listen to me? Why? I read those books from childcare. It says, no adult furniture. Alright? Children all over the world jump on the bed. If you don't want the kid to jump on the bed, or if you do, at least get rid of the headboard and the footboard so he won't smack himself. Yes, he could fall off. So I'm always there when I jump with him, and I always tell him, jump when I'm watching you. Not when you're by yourself. So in this video, I only fight to protect my life and the life of others, and for my human rights. So the police officer, I would like to speak to the police officer. Why did you, not why Baker act me, but why did you take me away from my son? The first time was 7.5 days. The second time was 5 days. Now the second time was because the spouse, she wrote on ex parte paper at the courthouse saying that I heard voices and that I saw strange things, which were lies. And she didn't even come up with it. My mother was the one that told her what to write, because my mother used to be a secretary, and she knows for foster children, she knows what to write. She used to call the foster children the future criminals. So before that, she wanted to adopt a girl, but she ended up either being rejected or she didn't make enough money. I'm not sure. And I don't understand how you make enough money, because she's working. She's a secretary back in Chicago. I think she was making $20,000 a year. I haven't made $20,000 yet. All right. My highest year might have been what, 12,000. So a little bit higher than 12,000, because it's 1,000 a month net. It might be 1,200 a month. But anyway, this in Chicago, this other lady that could not hear, she had a hearing aid. I know that she spoke with sign language. She had, was it 7 girls from the foster system? Now I know that she did not work, but yet she was accepted. But it may have been the dynamics that we lived in a 2-bedroom house, and maybe the rule already existed that if you have 2 boys and you have a 2-bedroom house, the boys need their own room, the parents need their own room, which in this case was a single mother, and the daughter needs her own room, the foster child. So we could not have it for whatever reason. So I would fight for my life, my liberty, and security of person. I believe you should fight for your human rights. Now, Gandhi went to jail a bunch of times, and so did Gary Davis. He's the guy with the first passport in the world citizen passport. Alright, so in this video I have spoken about, I only fight to protect my life and the life of others, and for my human rights. You have to fight for your human rights. Yes. You have to fight for your human rights. The problem is that you are surrounded by, in other situations, by 10 police officers, or just 4. And I'm wondering, they are all going to take the side of the police officer, and they really need to have somebody else there, perhaps a supervisor of the police, and a supervisor that would listen. A supervisor that would listen. Because you haven't done anything illegal and they're Baker Acting you. The Baker Act might not be legal. Or it might not be legal in my case, because I wasn't doing anything destructive. I was sitting in bed when they came for me. It was 3 days later. And the only thing I had done that particular Friday, I broke the door on Wednesday. On Friday, the only thing I had done was prevented my daughter from going to school, because it was her last day of school before the Christmas vacation. And I wanted to talk to her about Jesus, and I wanted her to practice Tai Chi Chuan so that she will have self-defense skills. Oh, and by the way, this time she asked me, her basketball hoop fell down. So I did help her pick it up 2 days ago. Today she wants to readjust the height back to what she had it. And I told her that yes, I would help her, because she knocked on the window. Actually, she knocked on the door. But this time I told her, you climb up the ladder, because I did it last time. You see, what I detest about women or my mother is that she used to say, oh, I can't put that picture on the wall because I'm not a carpenter. I can't lift weights because I'm a woman. And then she would have trouble. Oh no, I can't check the oil because I don't want to get my hands dirty, and I'm a woman. I'm a lady. Well, that is the dumbest thing to do. And I met another counselor that used to come here. She was a 50-year-old woman, And she used to say that all 3 daughters, or maybe 2 daughters, I forgot how many she had, have come back to thank her that she taught them how to change a tire of the car. All 3 of them came back to thank her. My mother, she cannot change a tire. I'm not saying that everybody that drives should be able to change a tire, because in the United States you could call it tow truck service. But I believe that women should not be useless for checking the car oil if they drive. Alright? This spouse, she checks her oil now, because the previous minivan died because nobody checked the oil. And that has even been on Judge Judy. Because Judge Judy asked, what did you do with the $50,000? I bought a car, and then I moved into my own apartment. And then? Did you start working? No. So that's what you did with the money. She lived on her own for 2 years, until she ran out of the money. Or maybe it was a year, I don't know. So, where's the car? It died because nobody told me I needed to put oil in it. I mean, the girl's only 19, 20 years old. And it's the same story as what happened to this spouse when she was, if I'm 40, she was 44 now. But when she was probably 40, her first car died. Alright. In this video, I'll also talk about 1 car per person is not sustainable. In the United States, if there are 4 people in the house, 4 people have a car. 4 cars, right? And that is not the best way to go for the environment, until cars become non-polluting. It is not the best way to go. And for traffic, it is not the best way to go. They take up more space. So I've seen robots that are basically a skateboard with a handlebar, but they call it a robot because you can type in the instructions, like not type in, but you have a control panel, and you say you move it to the left, you move it to the right, you pull forward, you pull back, you stop, things like that. So they call it a robot, but all it does is turn the wheels on a skateboard, and it takes you, what, 10 miles? So it could take you somewhere. That is a way of transporting people. It's almost like the Segway, but much smaller. The Segway was a big step. What do you call that exercise where you step on the step ladder? Stairmaster? A Segway looked like a Stairmaster with wheels that could take you places. So in the USA, for instance, a lunch lady like this spouse, she can drive a used car. A teacher can drive a new car, and the principal can drive a Mercedes-Benz, because that's what they drive. But I don't approve of a principal driving a Mercedes-Benz. It sends the message that money is more important. If I was the principal, I would drive a Winnebago or something like that, a U-Haul truck that's converted into a bathroom and a bed and a kitchen. Alright, so let me talk to you about Booker T. Washington. He talks about character building and fatherly advice. And then I thought about, when I was listening to him, then I wrote this, like pearls to swine. And he says, I don't want to waste your time here. When you leave here, whether it be a year from now or you will graduate in 4 years, I want you to go into the world and help somebody. And then he says, since he gets up on Sundays and gives these speeches, he says, I would have loved to walk by this school and after the rain, seen my students fixing the roof of the pigsty, because the pigs got wet, and now it's all mud. And surely, if my students, when they leave this university and they cannot fix a pigsty, then their education has been worthless. A young man, alright, this one I got from Margaret Mead, Coming of Age in Samoa, which talks about puberty. And a young man, the definition of a young man in Samoa is a man that has sex 3 times per night. Alright, and that is, I mean, it's still possible for me. I'm 40. But the difference would be it would have to be with 3 different women. Or just one. Just one. Which was the best memory I have of my best girlfriend, Firestar. Now, easily 3 times a night. Alright, then I did have a co-worker in New York. He was a security guard in Miami. And he talked to me about the trains, and that he would take the train to his girlfriend's house for sex. I asked him what you do on your day off. And he says, oh, I'd take the train, and then I would go visit my girlfriend and have sex with her. And then I would take the train again and go have sex with my other girlfriend. I was young and I didn't have a wife. So that's what men do. Now back then I didn't want to do any of that. I was like, no, I just got married, and of course who did I marry but Firestar, my super hot girlfriend. Now, even with her, the problems were that she didn't want me to be in her house, her apartment. She didn't want me, she didn't care that I didn't have a parking spot. She didn't care that I had to wait for the elevator, and sometimes it comes, sometimes it doesn't come because they're fixing it. Things that bothered me didn't bother her. I mean, like if I open my door, I want to be outside in 2 seconds. I don't want to be walking to the elevator and is the elevator going to come? Is the elevator not going to come? And then I'm praying, please come, elevator. Please, God, send the elevator. And then I got the other neighbors that are smoking in the elevator. New York is hiding in, I don't know what I read. Not really talking with spouse. Alright, so I'm not talking with the spouse. Yes, we're having sex. She said, yes, your mother is moving out because you said you were putting her in a nursing home. And I said, yes, I have to. I have to put her in a nursing home for old people, because if she falls, I will go to jail for elderly abuse, because I don't know what's going on over there. I have no connection to that house. And then she says, then we must rent this room. And I said, okay, let's rent it. Now, I do want to talk to the spouse about other things. Like I wanted to buy the chemistry game, Elementio, so that my son and I learn chemistry. I would say my daughter, but the thing is, when people sometimes, I'm reading in a book, Thought Vibration, and if we think alike, then we repel. No. If we think alike, we attract each other. Like my son and I, we're bonded. We're each other's helper. We help each other. But the spouse and I, we have such a difference of opinion that we argue, or she argues, and she won't even listen. She walks away. Because if she listens to me, it makes sense. This morning I told her, do you want your children to be like me or to be like you? And she said, you're lazy. Do you want them to be like me? She said, no. Then shouldn't they take out the garbage? Because she asked me to take out the garbage because I was playing with a garbage bag. But I was playing with a garbage bag because I was expecting my son to come at any moment, and I was going to hand him the garbage bag so he could change the garbage bag, garbage bag. But he didn't come, so I hung it right there on the. We have a half door from when we had a childcare, so the children wouldn't go into the kitchen. So I hung it there, and then I remember the story about the new boss this spouse has, right? It was her coworker from last year. And my mother told me that perhaps this new boss wanted to save money and didn't want to put new garbage bags into the trash cans without the garbage bags being all the way full. So my spouse was pulling out the garbage bag, but she needed help because she couldn't lift it. And then the boss, a woman, but she grew up on a farm, she's very strong, she found out that the other co-workers could not lift the garbage bags either. So this boss says, I'll lift it, and she picked it up and the bag ripped and made a mess. So now they're back to filling the garbage cans halfway up and emptying them. And they're not saving on bags. They thought they were, but they're not saving on bags. They thought they could, but they can't because the workers won't lift. And the bags rip. So, being that the lesson that this spouse has at work, then why does she overfill the garbage can here? Why does she overfill the garbage can here? You see how the spouse and I are different? And so I told her, that's right, I don't work, my spouse, but the reason I don't work is because even you came home the other night and said, why are the lights in the garage on? They've been on all day since you left. Since whoever was the last one to go over there, that's the one that left it on. And if you are going to let my daughter take half-hour showers, and she said, you're supposed to be working to pay the light and the water bill. I said, yes, but if my daughter's going to be disrespectful by using half an hour of water, and then I used to knock on her door and say, please get out of the bathtub or shower. The shower, she was always taking a shower. And then I was not the only one, because she told the nurse that used to come over here and do the reading after school, the tutor. This nurse used to say, my husband has 3 daughters and he's after them. Get out of the shower. Get out of the shower. Now the guy works at the city. He makes $20 an hour. And he is saying get out of the shower to his 3 daughters. Alright? So I have 1 daughter. And I'm knocking on her door. Get out of the shower. Get out of the shower. And this spouse, she doesn't care. Oh, she's taking a shower. It doesn't matter that the water bill is running. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that... What else is running? A water bill, the air conditioner. The garage doesn't... yes, it does have insulation, but not enough. It's very hot in there. And so she leaves the door to the garage open. The one from the house to the garage building, right? It's connected. And she leaves that open, and that is running and running. And I said, that costs money with the air conditioning. And by the way, the air conditioner up on the roof needs to be fixed in the attic. Needs to be fixed up there. And she says, no. Then I said, we could easily put a pipe from the air conditioner to each person's room, And these pipes are no bigger than this. 4 inches or 5 inches across. They're very nice pipes. You could get them in colors even, red, blue, whichever, and you get these pipes, and they don't take up much space, and we will save on electricity and air conditioning. And the spouse says, no. It's all right then, spouse, you go spend the money on that. The last thing I'll talk to you about is my mother. She got money for going to the hospital, some sort of insurance. She got $50 for going to the hospital. She got $50. Is that from AARP or something? Anyway, she got $50, and she went shopping, and she told my spouse, here, put gas in the car. And so the spouse put $30 worth of gas in the car. And my spouse, the mother says, she only gave me back $15. Now, 15. So she must have put $34. I don't know. And my mother says, where am I supposed to go shopping now with this? It's not enough money. And the mother, she said, I wanted to go to the mall with them, but she wanted to go yesterday, which she did on Sunday, and today she could have gone to the mall, but the spouse wouldn't wait for her. All right, talk to you later. Oh, and the spouse didn't go to the mall today. She's not going to go twice. I wouldn't go to the mall at all. I mean, why waste so much gas to go all the way over there? For what? All right, talk to you later. Be better than I am. Don't live with any women. As soon as you've got your first job, hold on to it and move away. Live alone if you want to be happy.